Hey guys, so I am finishing up the quail enclosure just before I picked the birds up at the post office this morning. So I have some things to do, like make them a little sandbox and plant some plants, but once that's situated, I'm going to go pick them up and then put them in the new enclosure. When you guys are building pens for your quail or certain species of birds, definitely look up where those birds are actually from or where they originate, and what kind of environment or habitat that they prefer. I actually built this original pen for the Benson quail that never hatched, and so I kind of tuned it to what they like and the habitat they like. And unfortunately, I didn't think I'd be getting these Benson quail because they like a different type of habitat. They're from, I think, the Mexico area, so it's extremely dry, it's desert-like, and open fields. And so this is definitely not the kind of enclosure that probably is ideal for them, but it's definitely suitable for now until I built them a specific enclosure. And so I had two of these pre-made coops. I just smashed one, honestly, because it was a piece of junk. But this one I could save and salvage, so I reinforced it inside, and then I tore down the original run. It was this small little crappy white run, and I built a larger run just so that I didn't have to constantly crawl in there to close the door. It was just not a cool setup. And so I made a slightly larger run, a little taller, and then I'll show you guys the inside of it now. So I don't know if you remember, but in my previous videos with the button quail, I had them in one of these pre-made coops attached to a very small pre-made run that was shipped with the actual coop. And it's just not large enough, honestly. Even for quail, I wouldn't feel comfortable putting it in. So I rebuilt the run. I have to actually finish it off here still, so I haven't let them out yet. They're just locked inside. And then I'll show you guys the inside of the actual run that I made. So if we go in here, I left the little side open, tight squeeze. It's definitely larger than it was. I saw some cool designs. I wanted to be cost efficient with this because I want to add 2 or 3 more of these runs. And so I had to really utilize what I had in the woods, and so I tried to make it woodsy in here. I have to add more. They like seclusion, stuff like that, so you make teepees out of sticks and they can go hide in there. But most of this was actually found in the woods. I only spent $65 making this run. I think this was the most expensive thing. This was for the Benson quail. I kind of got inspired on YouTube. And so there was this guy who raised Benson quail, but he had tons of grasses around this really cool pond-like structure. I can't get running water or a pump in here, so you know, I'll just fill this up every day and they can drink out of it, and then, you know, these grasses will grow around it. And then I built this little sandbox, and the sand was only $5. I think at Petco or your any pet store really have sand for, you know, reptiles and stuff. And so I don't know if they actually dust bathe in that, but it's, you know, you can actually get desert sand. And so when it rains, I'll just put a little plastic over it so that it doesn't get wet. This was $10 at Petco too. And then I went to a garden store and they had this really cool design. And so you just put sticks, you nail sticks together, and then it acts as a perch, a natural perch. And so that's what I did. That all the sticks were from the woods, and so it was a really cost-efficient way to make this run. And so the only thing left really to do for this run, I want to add a few more plants right along here, and then I have to make a pull-up door so that I can actually let them in and out without me having to make another door on the outside of this run. So it'll be easy just to open it up and down from the top here. And inside is relatively plain right now until I can, you know, dress it up for them. Let me see if I can. They're really skittish compared to even the buttons. And so, hold on. That's the male right there with the little bald spot on his head, and then the female's right in the back. And so they're going through a pretty heavy molt right now. So, you know, I'm doing mealworms, high protein in the diet to get them through it. So I'm going to open this up tomorrow. I'm going to get a door on it. so they can go out and, you know, enjoy the run. No, 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 inside, inside, inside. Oh, God. Come on, come on. I'll get you hay. Come on. I feel like the last time I did the video, too, I only had 3 goats. I had Seabert, Pete, and Repeat, and then we got Bolt, and then Thor. So now there's 5 baby goats here. Gonna give them some hay. Uh-oh. Come on, come on, come on. Uh-oh. And they waste so much. So like I said before, I decided to get the Benson quail because none of my Gamble's quail hatched. And you know, I left the eggs in the incubator just for a few extra days with the button quail that are hatching in about 4 or 5 days. And I hear chirping this morning, and I go up to check on the incubator, and there is a Gamble's quail that hatched. So now I'm not sure if I should just give it away because mixing quail species isn't a great thing. You know, they get territorial and then you have issues with pecking. So either I get a pair of Gamble's quail, or I'm just going to give this one away along with the jumbo white Cornix quail that I hatched. I hatched a single chick last week, and it's just not good to keep, you know, a single chick in a cage by itself. So I'll go show you the Gamble's quail. So I keep 2 incubators during non-hatching season, which would be pretty much anything after May. I just use my small incubator for like little hatches for me. And so right now I have maybe 20 out of 36 button quail eggs that will hatch in about 5 days. And I had 2 leftover Gamble's quail eggs. It looks like only 1 hatch, but again, I'm gonna keep the other one in there maybe for another day or 2 just in case. But yeah, this guy's speedy, running around. I'm gonna put him on bed right now. And he just got out. Oh crap. That's no good. And if you can see him, let me see if I can focus. He's right there. Oh my god. This is gonna be such a hassle. Okay, well, I have to get him now. So I think I actually cornered him. It took me about 10 minutes. He is so quick. He's right there. So I don't want to keep this guy out too long just because, you know, he's only a day old and he needs warmth. But see those little hairs on the top of his head? If you look up Gamble's quail, hold on, bud. If you look up Gamble's quail, they have this really cool feather on top of their head. It's California quail have it, mountain quail have it. Oh. And they're just really cool looking birds. So back and he goes. So I have to say that these are definitely the fastest quail that I've ever seen in my life, even compared to button quail, which I thought were like lightning up until today. Well, I may have to get a pair of Gamble's now, just because I just find them so entertaining, and they really are such pretty birds. So I'll definitely keep you guys updated if I do find a pair. For now, I'm gonna go to Home Depot. I'm gonna finish buying the rest of the plants for the enclosure, and then I'll take you guys back down and we can look at the enclosure once it's finished. So instead of spending money, I needed a shady plant that grows in the summertime, and I used some wisteria that was coming up, some little offshoots off the ground off my main plant. And so I'm just gonna use that around the edges, and then you know, it has a pretty flower as well, so it should work perfectly. So I'm not sure if they'll take. It's a pretty hardy plant, but I planted 1, 2, and 3, and then right behind the little box right there I planted 4. So this should grow along here. Wisteria is poisonous, but the birds never eat the leaves, so you really have nothing to worry about. I've planted it for a couple years around my coops, and I've never had a problem. And so this should grow up here. I'm hoping that it takes, you know, next spring. So I guess I have to wait and see for that. And so what I wanted to do was kind of clear this out and put a couple more of the quail coops for different species of quail right here. It's like an absolute jungle right now, but I forgot that we have 5 goats. So I'm actually going to put a temporary fence along here and kind of box them in during the day and let them just go to town on this area. So I'm going to see how long that actually takes for me to clear out, and if not, I'm just going to weed whack it down or chop it down. I'll probably wait a couple weeks just until you know, all the bees get done pollinating, because there's a massive amount of flowers. I have no idea what vine this is, but it smells so good. It's all along the coop on the outside, and it's taking over really everything, but the bees seem to love it. I'm gonna give some mealworms to the animals. These birds love their mealworms. These are the blue Wheaton and Wheaton Americanas that I'm raising right now. This is kind of the, I don't know where to put every animal pen because there's such a mixture of birds in here right now, between guineas, the ducks, the blue layers, and all these grow outs. And more pens definitely have to be built.